Hey, IFB, Interfleet Broadcasting. It's New York Pete and the Tipsy Toaster. And guess what? We are bringing you yet another of the top authors at Fan Expo at Denver, Special Edition 2021.
Yes, it is 2021.
100%. Laurel, tell us about, you have an array of various books. I happen to be holding here the first of many. So tell us how this started. It says Book Award. I want to know about the Book Award as well. And then you're going to take me into some of these things. There's some dark, there's some humorous.
I'll take you on a tour.
Oh, yes, please.
Of my writing journey.
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So, back in the day, I'm a very vivid dreamer. And a long time ago, I had a dream, a crazy dream. And I shared it with a friend, and she said, oh, you got to write something about that. So I ended up writing Water White Book 1. 14-year-old girl, just has to save the planet. Something shattered it, releasing powers and strange creatures and all that. She's the key, but there's a shapeshifter trying to kill her, trying to stop her from saving the planet. So it's very exciting. And she doesn't know why she's the key or anything. So it's her journey. We've got Odin visits in Book 1. And just lots of adventure, lots of growth in this character. Her name is Celeste. She meets a mountain spirit who gives her some advice, and she has to fly over a big body of water, and she starts to fall, and a flying frog comes out of nowhere and rescues her. It just gets really crazy. Things get really crazy. So then, at the end of this book, I thought it was going to end, but it didn't, because my character said, wait, there's more. We need to continue this. And so, Book 2, Water White Flux, the whole world is in flux. The characters are in flux. Their powers are in flux. She goes from being in Odin's realm to Kamugwe's realm. And Kamugwe is a water god. And things get really crazy because when you have two gods involved and they're brothers, yes.
I knew it.
Yes. So there's conflict with the gods. And Celeste gets stuck in the middle. And there's a lot going on in Book 2. And there's also a tragic octopus situation.
Oh, so there's twists and turns and various types of monsters.
And it's monsters.
It's a post-apocalyptic world?
Post-apocalyptic world.
Is it our world or another world?
It's probably our world.
Oh,
it's our,
okay,
it's our world.
okay. Yeah.
So there's some familiar things, but there's also some very bizarre things. Like a horse that has a peacock head and tail.
Oh,
some very
nice.
Like a three-headed archer. So some really unusual characters.
Okay.
And of course, everything comes to a head in Book 3 and gets resolved.
Okay.
With an ending that many may not expect.
Oh, twist ending possibly.
You gotta have an ending that's not what people expect. Because
Love it. Yeah.
So that's it. And then I figured, why not do a coloring book based on Book 1? So
look at this.
I created
IFB. Look at this. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it kind of goes through some of the scenes, so you meet some of the characters, which is fun. And then, since my goal as an author is to write in every genre before I die, I decided, let's try some short stories. And for some reason, my short stories get very dark and weird and bizarre. Oh,
sounds like good Halloween reading. The Dark Ebb.
Dark Ebb Grim Tales.
Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Ooh.
And I almost have enough dark, bizarre, weird short stories for Volume 2.
Book Award.
So I'm working on that as well.
And there's a Book Award on this.
There's a Book Award on that too.
Oh boy.
I think I'm a pretty good writer. Some people think I'm a pretty good writer.
It seems that way. I'm pointing to an award that says you are. I like that.
And then this one, The Hare, Raising Truth, was actually a 3-day novel writing contest.
Oh, wow.
And the goal was write a novel in 3 days. So I had an idea of a very funny little short story, but then I got Rod Serling's voice in my head from Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we like that.
And it went very dark. So this is Twilight Zone, Grimm's Fairy Tale mashup.
Raising Truth.
Raising Truth. It's about a boy who finds a rabbit's foot and wants to get lucky with the new girl in school. So I'm just going to say, there's a twist ending.
Whoa, that's good. We like twist endings.
That's that.
Okay,
so then, I'm not are you jigsaw puzzlers out there?
There's got to be. Of course we are. We did, during the COVID, everybody did some jigsaws.
Well, I was never a puzzler, but I had these puzzles, and I had a 2,000-piece puzzle, and I thought, how difficult can that be? to do a 2,000-piece puzzle. Well, I found out. So it took me about 3 months to do this.
Okay.
And then a good friend of mine, Nadine Collier, who's a licensed professional counselor, said, you should write a book about lessons you learned from doing the puzzle.
Okay.
And I thought, that sounds like fun if you would help me with it. So there are 10 chapters on life lessons, like looking below the surface, like walking away, like...
Piece by piece.
Oh, piece by piece. And so I said, if you would write a little reflection, in questions for reflection at the end of each chapter, we can do this. So that's how Piece by Piece ended up. And that's also an award winner. Let's see, what else? This, I have to talk about this.
Okay.
My 9-year-old great niece, Catherine Stead, said she wanted to write a book. She lives in Maryland. So over the course of a year, she would Zoom with me every Wednesday morning.
Oh, wow.
And she wrote her first novel, which I then published for her and illustrated for her. Very proud of this. It's an adorable story about sibling rivalry and power.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So she's a
look at that. That's so
newly
cool.
published author. Then this, of course, this is the first novel that I published. And it's based on my first year of teaching 7th grade language arts in a school that ultimately closed. Now, I journaled my whole first year, so I had all this real information about stuff that happened. Now, you can't talk about 130 students, so I crammed them down into maybe 10. But there's real stuff that happens in there to my students. Now, yesterday, a gal came by and said, I bet you don't remember me. She was in my 7th grade classroom in 2006.
And
she recognized me. And I said, oh,
fantastic.
You're gonna recognize things in that.
Oh, boy.
So what else? I have a hunting memoir.
Oh, this is interesting, too.
No elk were harmed.
Hunt for red meat, love stories.
So 3 years of hunting the wily elk in Colorado.
And you got how many?
No kills.
None.
No, well, one roadkill. We didn't kill it, but we got a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning on an October day to go out and harvest the meat. So that was my first time I harvested meat from an elk, and it was a beautiful experience.
Is that when you retired the whole hunting thing?
It was magical.
It was magical.
It was magical. And then this, of course, this is, again, another genre. This is a journal, like a gift journal. I dropped my cell phone in the ocean in 2016, which was a leap year. Cell phones don't like being dropped in the ocean. So I thought, well, I don't have a cell phone for 2 weeks. Might as well come up with 366 first lines of a haiku. So it's like a journal. I give you the first line, and you finish the poem, and then write a little reflection.
That's excellent.
So it's a fun little
job. Listen, we have a lot of fans that are authors or writers. They like this, idea of creating and writing and maybe even publishing. So this is the type of stuff that we like to put out to the fans and, tell everybody that, look, there is possibilities, right? And there's ways of kickstarting. Here it is. Here's the proof.
Here it is. And I publish myself. I publish on KDP, which is an Amazon platform. It's very easy to do. I pay for my cover design. There's a company called 99designs.com, and I've used them. It's like a international contest for cover designs, and it's reasonably priced. You tell them what you want, you get all the files, which is wonderful. And, my inspiration, where can you not get inspiration, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my series started with a dream. As I wrote, I would see things, experience things, hear things. You hear someone say something in a coffee shop, and it triggers an idea, right?
Do you write it down right away?
I don't typically have a notebook with me, but I always have my phone with me, and there's a little voice memo app in there that I use all the time. I get a lot of inspiration when I go for walks, and how can you not around Colorado, right?
Oh, hey.
So I'll get an inspiration, and I'll do a little voice memo. And it might be a sentence, it might be someone's name, it might be an idea for a scene. Whatever it is, I know that if I don't get it down right away, it'll be gone. Kind of like dreams.
But these are the techniques that everybody likes to hear about, right? So one person writes it, another person records it, you grasp things that are around you, it inspires you, and here it is, right? A little bit of dedication and application, voila.
It's a lot of bit of dedication and application.
And so there is work. There is work that goes into it.
There's a lot of work.
Yeah. So listen, guys, this is what we bring to the fandom, to the world out there, to IFB watchers. If you want to write, and this is something you like to do, well, listen to what we've brought you. Listen to what we bring to you. There is a way to do it. And it's not just for those that are, on the highest levels or on the pedestals.
I think everyone has a story, and if you want to be published, you need to do the work. You need to, as a minimum, start with your ideas. You keep an idea diary, right? I mean,
excellent.
A book is not going to happen unless you put the work into it and actually write it. And then it helps if you have other writer friends. Join writing groups, have other people, beta readers, read your work and give you honest feedback. Now, I'm not talking about your mom and your dad and your sister and your brother and your dog, who are all going to tell you your work is excellent and there's nothing you need to do. You want to find the people who will be brutal to you and say, this makes no sense, or I don't understand what this is, or this dialogue, everybody sounds the same. You need that feedback from your readers. So
Very
you
important.
You have to be willing to accept that. Doesn't mean that you're going to take everybody's suggestion all the time.
Okay.
But there will be things that you will say, you're right. You're right about that.
Need to work it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for taking the time out and introducing us to your world here. We love all this stuff. Our fans love this. You're an inspiration more than anything else. And those of us that, may not be so inclined, we love to read good literature. We love to read adventures. Is there any more coming?
Yes. I'm a former Army officer. I was in the 4th class of women that had at West Point that had women in it. Graduated in 1983. I did 9 years of active duty in the Army and then 3 in the reserves. So people have been asking me for a long time now, when are you going to write those stories? So I decided I wasn't going to do a memoir about that time, not yet, but I am going to do a military sci-fi series that I've already started.
Oh.
And if you haven't heard of NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo.org, it's a challenge to write 50,000 words in 30 days, the month of November.
Oh, wow.
Monday, after I leave here, I start
writing.
NaNoWriMo, and I'm going to knock out 50,000 words of the next novel. I've already got 20,000 done. I'm excited where it's going, so that's going to be my next novel.
Outstanding challenge. So we got a scoop. Would you be willing to come back on this show and tell us about the outcome of this work that you're doing?
Absolutely. You want to come down to Salida and meet my ducks?
Well, someday we might, but the beauty of the digital age is that we can bring you into our world and you just tell us all about this because we want you back.
I would love to come back.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
IFB, we told you we're going to bring you the top of the convention, and here it is. And stay tuned for an update. So, fans fuel the fleet. Stay tuned, and thanks. Everybody stay safe. You
come
stay
on
safe.
back tomorrow.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
here tomorrow, too. Last day.
Last day. So, from the Fan Expo to all you guys out there, be well and stay tuned.